welcome back to Crafts with Julie. Today I've got a special video to share with you guys. We're going to be putting together some plastic canvas and cross stitching. If you guys have ever been curious about seeing that, I got something to show you guys, so stay tuned. Alrighty guys. Now this is something that I have always enjoyed doing since I was very young. I love doing cross stitch and doing plastic canvas stuff. And I put together this little project, so hopefully this will turn out as good as I pictured it in my head. We're going to do a little village, little winter scene. Okay, now this part I've already got part of it started, so I'm just going to show you how I'm going to kind of get this wrapped up. We're just going to alternate red and green, and very simple. When you pull your thread, your yarn through, just kind of hold on to it with your fingers and then just do your stitch right on through there. That way you help hold and sew basically your thread down or your yarn so that it stays down. And I got part of this started the other day, and you're just kind of crisscrossing. In one section you're doing as red and one section you're doing as green, so you're just kind of threading over and under and over and under. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing there. Just like that, so that you're alternating colors. And when you're doing it like this, you're going to be sewing or pulling your yarn through at an angle. So when you pull through your bottom hole, you're going to cross over a little cross section and go to the top, so that you're always doing it at an angle. Okay, super simple and easy. And I can show you a little bit more here in just a little bit. So to finish this off, we're through with the red right here. So we're going to take our needle and we're going to go underneath all these other loops, because this is just the back side, so it'll be fine. You're going to pull your needle through. There we go. Sorry, my hands have been so dry with this cooler weather coming in that I keep having to put tons and tons of lotion on, or else I've got like sandpapery type hands and they just snag everything. So my fingers are wanting to just glide right off the needle. Okay, so that is going to be kind of our little decorative piece that we're going to use here after a little while, and I will show you that. I've already made a long piece that's going to go along the back side, and then another section, for each side of what we're doing, and I'll show you as I'm putting everything together. Okay, now to get this started, I have some white yarn here, and I've used so much of this, it used to be together all neat and tidy, and it's just come completely unwound. But I love this white yarn because it has, I don't know if you guys can catch that on the camera or not, if the light's catching it. It has a little bit of like shimmery coming through there, almost like it's got a little piece of tinsel all kind of twined in with the rest of the yarn. I love it. This shimmery part really gives the effect that I like for this background. And this is what we're going to be making. This is one side that I've already done, and I'm going to show you on this next piece of canvas on how I did this. But I just wanted to show you what the finished project is going to look like. And this is our backdrop, the background. So it's going to be a little bit bigger and a little bit wider, because we're going to put a little tree in this, and we're going to put a little frozen pond and everything in it. So I will show you all those pieces momentarily. Okay, so I have this really awesome needle threader that works great for embroidery or plastic canvas needles, because they do have this bigger eye in the needle, and this is perfect for putting yarn in. So you just loop it over through that hook and then pull it through the eye of the needle. Easy, simple. I wish that I had known about those whenever I first got started on doing cross stitch, but I was young, so I was just getting started and didn't know all the wonderful, easy little things that you can do. So to get it started, we're going to start right here in this corner, start at the top, not the first hole, but we're going to go one hole over, okay? And we're going to pull that through, not all the way, but just a little bit. Leave a little tail on the back side, okay? You're going to hold that down with your finger, and then we're going to go at an angle, okay? And go like that. Now to make this little effect, which will help us kind of get this done super quick, and it still makes a really pretty pattern on your canvas, is that we're going to go back up top to the third hole, okay? Pull our yarn through and go back down at an angle, but we're going down here, 3 down from the corner. Okay, and then we're going to come back up to the top, underneath the bottom. Okay, and then back down this way again, keeping it at an angle. All right, now we're not going to keep going this way. We're going to come down from this hole. We're going to go down one more hole. Okay, and we're still going to cross over, but we're going to go right here to the side. And then we're going to do it again, making a smaller loop in the corner. Okay, just like that. And see, now you have your first corner done, and it looks just like this. But now we're going to change it up, or we're going to change angles on this one, okay? So what we're going to do, keep this underneath. We're going to come back up through here, and we're going to go across at this angle. All right, come back up here to this hole, and then, oh yeah, I thought I went one hole too high, but it looks like I was just fine. Then one to the side, and we just repeat that process, but at a different angle. Okay, and now at this point, you don't have to really keep holding your yarn on the back side. It's pretty much going to be secure, and it's going to stay there. That way you can hold your canvas however you need to. And then we come back up to the top again, but we're on the side. So we make another short stitch, okay? And then one more for the little angle. All right, and there we go. Now we have 2 squares. Now we're not going to come back up here to start the next because of how we ended it right here. We're going to come back over here. We're going to skip one hole, go to that hole, pull it through, and then we'll come down right there. Whoop. Now you do have to be careful, because as you're doing this, everything's going to get kind of bunched up or knotted up underneath. So you got to be really careful about that, because it'll take off like it just did on me. So then we come back up. Woo. Fuzzies are going everywhere. That is the only downside to doing this, is that you get so many fuzzies from your yarn. Okay, and then we come through here. We're going to go back through on our second stitch. Okay, then back up again for our big stitch for the long middle one. There we go. That way, every time when you pull it through, you're meeting at your angles. Everything is always touching, okay? then down the side for the short stitch. Okay. And there we go. And then, since we ended by pulling it through down here, we're going to come back up to the top side of that loop and then down this way. Now, the reason why I do it that way is because you're going to have kind of like this little hole here in the middle, and you don't want to have your thread or your yarn crisscrossing through there or anything like that, or else you won't get this look or this effect. But you're just going to keep going across all the way, zigzagging back and forth and changing your angle, but always just pull your yarn through where you're not going to be in this middle hole here, that you're going to leave it open. And you just keep doing that. Just back and forth, over and under, over and under. All right? If you feel it start to kind of snag, double check it, because like right there, I just had a little tiny knot. And if you don't stop and fix it, then it becomes a big knot and a big issue. Sorry, my puppy over here is getting rather curious about some of my stuff. Hey, bud. No, stay down. Stay down. All right. And we're just going to finish up this square right here. And now just remember, all the way back, all the way across. And when you get to the side here, I'll show you something here in a minute. I'm going to kind of cut away for a minute. I'm going to get this whole top section finished, and then I'm going to show you how to come down to the next row and get your next row started and zigzag back across, okay? So I'll be back in a moment, guys. Okay, and we're back, guys. So we got all the way across, right? Okay, so on the back side, very simple and easy. You're just going to thread underneath 2 loops here, okay? Now we're going to bring it over, and we're going to match it up right here in this corner. You know what? We're going to bring it down first. That way it helps us with our zigzag. Okay, so this one's going to be our long, so we're going to go down 2 more holes. Right across there, then back up for our second stitch. Okay, I hope you guys are getting this. I'm not going too fast or anything like that. Okay, see how that's all starting to match up? Okay, now we're going to kind of pull on our yarn just a little bit to give us a little more length again, because we only do it with just a single section of the yarn. And there we go. And remember what I was saying, not to have anything through that right there crossing over. So we're going to bring it up right over here next to this one, then back down, okay, then back up, and there we go. See how that's starting to come together? And now we're getting that little pattern there. It's kind of like, I don't know if any of you guys ever did it when y'all were little, or if you even remember, like way back when you were a kid going to like VBS, and you had the popsicle sticks kind of like at a cross or what have you, or at an X, and you took your yarn and was just wrapping around and you made like what they called a God's eye in the pattern. That's kind of the same effect right there. We're just not wrapping it around any popsicle sticks. So then we come back up here and get our next section going. All right. And there we go. See how that's coming together, guys? And you just repeat that all the way across. And when you come over here to this side, you're going to do the exact same thing on here. When you drop it down a row and come back this way, you're going to do it the same way we did over here on this side, okay? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pause it here again. And I'll bring you guys back when I get more of this done. And I'll show you how I got it all done. All right. Okay, guys. I don't remember where we left off. It's been a couple of days. So I was going to kind of show you what all I have gotten done. This is on one of our side panels. Whenever you, on the count here, when you get down to the bottom, I had to do just kind of a half stitch on this bottom row here. But that's okay, because that's going to be on the bottom, and that's going to get kind of covered up. So it's not that big of a deal if you have it like that. On our big back piece, it's the same way all the way across. So, see, not that big of a deal. Not a problem at all. And so, to kind of get part of this finished up a little bit more, we are working on a little tiny fence to kind of go in the front side a little bit. I'm doing a brown on this part, and you can make the fencing however you want to make it. No big deal. I'm going with the brown, and then we're going to top it with the white to kind of give it that snow-topped effect. Okay, so only got 3 stitches high on there. Okay, and then we got this hole here we're going to be filling in. So we're going to come through the hole, then come back through underneath, and we're going to go back through the hole again. Okay, fairly simple and easy. It's not wild and crazy. And you're going to do that for the entire length of your fencing. I'm just going to make your way around it. Okay. And just go all the way around. Okay. And then we're just going to push the needle through the hole like that. And then we're going to come here to the back, and we're just going to run our needle through some of the other stitching, just so that our threading stays down. Okay? I'm going to take our scissors and snip it. And there, your fencing is almost done. And then when we start to put this together, we're going to have this as your side, and then this is going to connect right here like this. And I will show all that whenever we get ready to start putting everything together, which we are just almost there. We're just about to that point. So we can kind of get started on part of that. and I'll show you how we get started. I'm going to go back to our white yarn. And I keep getting into the light there. And to start things off, we're going to take our big background and we're going to attach it to our bottom. So the easiest way that I have found that works for me is have both the front sides face each other. And this is going to be our back, so we can run our needle through all this here in the back. Not all the way through like I just did, because you want it to stay. That's the whole point of this. There we go. Okay. Now we're just going to start right here. We're going to push through both our layers. Okay. Went through here and through here. And then we're just going to have it come back over, and we're going to go to the next hole. And we're going to repeat this process all the way down. Okay. All the way across. Making sure not to let it hook on the corners there as best as you can, because that will yank it out of your hands, as you've seen me do. And plus, if it catches your yarn, it'll start to untwine it and separate it, and then it won't look right. Okay, see how that's kind of going together there, guys? Oh, see, I didn't watch it from hooking that. Okay. Now I'm probably going to pause the video here in just a second, and then I'll bring you guys back when I make it back to the corner, and I'll show you how we attach the sides and start making our corner. Okay, so here we're almost through with this side here. We're coming up to our corner. Okay, now at this point, you've wrapped it around so many times, your yarn is going to be kind of twisting up a little bit. Just kind of hang it down a little bit and let it untwine itself, and you'll be right back in business. Now, with coming to the corner, we're going to start going up the side here. We're going to leave this open for right now. We're not going to do that because we're going to use a different color. We're going to use the green on this side. So, to come up here, we're going to do one more little stitch in this corner spot. Okay, we're going to come up. We're going to kind of open it up a little bit here. And then we're going to come up the side. We're going to stay in this corner hole. We're probably going to do a couple more stitches. That way it covers the side. Yeah, let's go ahead and do one more. See, it's going to wrap around there. We're going to head up to the next spot. And then we're just going to continue up all the way up the side. And this is the part that goes by pretty quick and easy. right there started knotting up on me. Everything's getting all twisted because you're moving pretty quick now. I'm doing the side. Oh, see, there we go. And sometimes to fix that, you just got to pull your yarn to help give you a little bit more length, and then keep from having so much right there to bunch up. Sometimes it's just too much going on right there. See how quick and easy this is? Once you kind of get into the rhythm of it, it just boom, 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 starts going together. Okay, so now we're approaching the corner. So we're going to do several stitches in the same one. We're getting a little bit twisted, so I'm going to let everything kind of unspin and untwist a little bit. Okay. And we're going to do however many stitches it takes, how many loops to cover up this corner. Okay. Do that one more time, looks like, and that just might be the right fit. Okay. And then back across the top. Oh, yep. I thought it looked a little odd there. That looped and hooked onto the corner. See, that's what you got to be careful about. Okay, I'm going to go all the way across the top. Okay. And twist a little bit again. Okay, and now we are approaching a little bit of the tricky spot, because now we're gonna hook this to this and connect those two pieces. Okay, we're gonna untwist again, and then we're gonna kind of pull that through just a little bit, give us a little more. Okay, so yes, this part is just a little tricky. Okay. Checking on my camera here. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure that you guys can see what I'm doing really good. So we're going to hold these together. Okay, I'm going to come back on the top. Okay, make sure your yarn's on the top side here. Hold these together, and you're going to go through the corners of both pieces. Okay, and we're going to come, well, not drop our needle. We're going to come back through and do that corner hole again. Okay, and then we're going to come down. Okay, and see, just like that. Make sure I'm getting this in the camera view there. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing there, and it makes some sense. And just keep looping that around all the way to the bottom. So I'm trying to do this where I'm not going to hit the camera and knock it over, but where you guys can hopefully see my hands and see what I'm doing. All the way down. Okay, so on this bottom part, things are starting to kind of separate just a little bit. We got a little tiny bit of a gap here. That's okay, because we're going to just keep on pushing through. Okay, just like that. All the way down. Okay, see, and now we're down at the bottom. And then this is how the inside looks. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. But see, that's going to be at the very bottom. So if you see any kind of little gaps or anything, it's not going to be that big of a deal, because we're going to fill it in with a little something kind of special when we get everything put together. So once we get these sides together here, we're on the back side to finish it off and to end this section of yarn. Again, we're just going to pull it through some of our loops on the back side. Yep. There we go. Okay, and seeing we have that right there, and clip, and there you've got your first two sides together, your first corner together, and we're in business. Okay, now we need some more of our yarn, because we're going to come up here and we're going to get this top part started. If I can find the end of my yarn. I have lost the end. There it is. Okay, now remember, don't do too long of a section, because then it just starts to kind of make it unravel, and it gives it more of a feathered look that we don't really want. Okay, so now we're going to start up here on the top part. So we're going to just kind of come down here. I want to make sure I have plenty of it through here so that it stays where I want it to go. I'm going to pull that through. Okay, so on here we want this corner, so we're going to come to that corner piece. Once I locate that corner piece, right there we go. We want to make sure, oh, I pulled it through. Sad day. Okay, no biggie, just pull it back through again. Okay. Make sure that that right there is nice and covered. Okay. So go slow, everybody. And that what I've been saying this whole time, just take your time. All right. And get our loops going. And once we get a few, then your yarn's going to stay. And it won't pull through because you're getting it nice and tight. Okay, and then we're just going to do that all the way across. And I'll bring you guys back for the next section. There we go. Okay. I kept pushing the recording button and I guess I wasn't pushing it just right. Okay, so now we've come to our next corner. And this time, instead of connecting, bottom and all that, we're going to do the side first, since we have our yarn right here already. Make sure you double check that you're getting the right sides together. Okay, so yeah, we need to turn this one because this is our back side, so it needs to go out. So we have our correct sides, the right sides together. And since I'm already on the front side of this hole, we're going to come in here and pull that through. And we're going to do a couple of little loops here because we want to get that corner covered. Okay. And keeping everything even, we're going to loop around, come up from the bottom. Pull our yarn just a little bit. Okay. See if I can turn this a little bit. Maybe that yarn won't be looping and hooking on the corner of the canvas here too badly. Okay. Okay. Trying to stay out of y'all's light. Come on, camera. Okay. Here we go. See, that's starting to come together pretty nicely. See how that's coming together? All right. So now it's coming down here to connect it to the bottom. And so for that, we're just going to kind of stand it up. Get everything lined up. We're going to turn this just a little bit. We're already on the back side here, so we're just going to loop it back through the corner of our bottom and then back through the corner of our side. Okay? Just like that. And then we're going to continue to do the same thing. Go to the next hole. And if you have to, just because it is starting to get kind of close quarters, go through one side and then come back to the other side, just until you can help get it started. Once you can kind of hold it together and get your holes lined up a little bit better, however you have to do it to get it to work for you. And see, there we go. Now it's going. And now we can hold it a little bit easier and go up the side. Okay, just kind of keep going there. All across the bottom. almost there. Okay. Oop, oop. It hooked around the end of my fingernail there. All right. And there. Now look at that. You got all three of your sides together, all connected to your bottom. Now this one's going to be a little more interesting because we're going to come up and we're going to connect part of our fencing as we come up. Actually, you know what? I think we're going to wait on that. I'm going to show you something different on that one. So here, we're just going to cover that corner real good. We're going to cover that corner real good, make a couple of passes there, and then we're going to come up the side. And then we're going to work back up our side and then back across the top and finish this off. And I'll bring you guys back when I'm done with that. Okay, guys. So went all the way across the top, got that all finished. So now we have all this section here. And then I got started on our fencing. Okay, I just started with the white on the side, going across the front on the top parts of our fence. And I'll show you how I did that. Just wrapping around, making sure to go over your corners and hold everything down. Keep it from hooking onto other corners. There we go. It's trying to go through itself, which is not always a good thing, because then if you have to undo it, then you have a huge knotted mess to try and fix. So you don't want it to go through itself. Okay. So we are just about through with this area, this section, whatever you want to call it there. Now once we get down the side, I'm going to come back in through the middle here and cross over the front, and then come down here, make another little pass, and then right there, right here in this corner, I'm going to come and bring it through there. Okay, pull our yarn out just a little bit, come back up here. Okay, here comes the fun part, guys. Okay, so this is the front of it. Okay, so we're going to be attaching it to this side right here. Make sure our brown stays tucked inside. Okay, I'm going to go over the corner just a little bit. Okay, get that corner covered. Get these lined up as best as I can. And then we're going to loop it through. We're going to come through the side and back up the front. Okay, right there on that corner. And that's how we're going to attach this to our side piece. Okay, see? And if you have to, make a couple of passes in the same spot so that your stitching is thick enough to kind of help it all just kind of flow together. Okay. And that, as you have seen before, does happen. Just thread your needle again. and then just get back to it. Okay, we're down to the bottom corner now. Making a couple of loops. Okay, we're through with the side, so we're just going to have it go back around the corner here, and we're just going to pull that through the back side. Okay, there we go. Pull it through, and we're done with that piece. So now for the front side, we need some green. So we'll find the end of our green yarn here. Cut us a nice section off of that. Okay. So now for this part, pull it through the bottom. Okay. Go nice and slow. Yes, and hopefully not get the dog hair in there. Okay. Nice and slow. We're going to come up through the corners. All right. Nice and slow so we don't pull our yarn through where we don't want it to. Make a couple of passes to get this corner started. All right. And with it being right here, we don't have to kind of fold it over like we have on our sides or the back piece. We can just kind of keep it right there where we're at and just push the needle through. All the way down. Okay. All the way down. And we are in the home stretch, guys. We almost got this. Whoop. There we go. See, it knotted up on me. And again. See, guys, this is when it starts getting exciting because everything is starting to come together and you're starting to see your almost finished project. And that is always so nice, so neat, so fun, especially if it's something that you just kind of threw together yourself and it's starting to come together like how you envisioned it in your head. Well, that one really twisted up together. There we go. Yeah, and see, sometimes you just have to kind of hold it as you're pulling it through, just on the back side, to help keep it from doing that. Just like that. However you have to hold it to pull your yarn through to do what you need to do. Okay. All right. And now I'm going to push on through here. We're going to finish up this bottom piece. And we're just going to go all the way across and get that done. I think I cut myself a little too much of the green, but that's okay. It's better to have too much than not enough. All right. Oh, we hooked the fence. Don't want to do that. See, and with this we are just about through with the shell of our project. I guess you could probably call it the shell of it. That's the bulk of it. Okay. Let's see. Let's finish up this corner here. Get it nice and tidied up. All right. Now we're going to bring it across one more time and then through the back side. Just through some of our other stitchings just to help hold that yarn in place. Cut that close. All right. Let's check our view here. Okay. Here we got our sides, our backs are all together. We got our bottom piece put on, all nice and neat. Kind of cut that a little bit. And here we've got our fencing. Oh, doesn't that look cute, guys? Okay. Okay, so here we have our three little houses. And you can make it however big or small you like. This one I chose to do the chimney on this side just because it's going to go over here and our tree is going to go over here in this corner. And then I got a couple more little houses. Use whatever colors you like. It doesn't matter what color. Have my hot glue gun over here getting all ready. And we're just going to put some lines of glue. Doesn't have to be fancy or in a certain spot, just so that it'll stick. And we're going to have it kind of close to the edge here, to the fencing, and just kind of press that on. Put it all the way down here to the bottom. Okay, just like that. All right. And now I think we're going to take the brown house. I think I'm going to put it there, and then my blue one I'm going to put right over kind of in this area somewhere. We'll see. Get some more glue on this house. And just splat it right there. Okay. Got some string of hot glue going here. Looking a little like a spider web. Okay, let's see. In our blue house, Yeah, I think I'm going to stick it right about there. Somewhere in that area. There we go. Okay, now before we glue on our tree, I went and found some gray yarn. We're going to make little puffs of smoke coming out of our chimneys. Because, you know, it's winter time. They're going to be cold inside their houses. Okay. Now we're going to take the end of our yarn, tie a little knot in it. Okay, so our chimney is right over here. So we're going to come through the bottom, about halfway down here on the back side, and just come through like I've shown you in the other video. Just kind of make it a little bit snug right there so you don't have too much kind of hanging out there. Okay, then you're going to kind of pinpoint right here above the chimney. And then we're going to tie a knot on this side. Kind of hold it down so that that part of it stays kind of in place as close as you can. And go back through the same hole. See? Right there. And then you're going to find another hole. Bring another loop through. Then back through the hole again. And come up right about here. One more knot. And then back through the same hole. All right, once we're through there, drag it through the back side a little bit. Tie a knot there in the end, and there we go. So that gives a little bit of a smoke effect. Kind of, sort of. Do the same thing back here. And do that for all your houses. Let's get our little knot back here. All right. Find the top of your chimney and do it again. And then back through the same hole. And there you go. And this time we're going to kind of come, I think we're going to come over here at a little bit of a different angle. Back through the same hole. My cotton ball's getting in the way here, and I'll show you what we're going to do with the cotton balls here in a minute. And let's do one more right there. And you can put more puffs of smoke if you like, or you can just do 1 or 2 puffs, however you want it to look, because you make it your own. Bring it back through the back side. There we go. Tie a knot in that. And clip. And then we got one more chimney. Probably come back and trim some of that off the back side a little bit later on. Get another one going. Back through. Let's see, I think got that space a little too far, so I'm going to put another little puff right there. I think on this one, I might go one more higher. Let's kind of scoot it over though. Get it kind of going at a little bit of an angle. And there we go. And I don't need that much, so let's clip some of this off, make it a little bit easier to tie on the back side. And there we go. Kind of clip some of this extra off. And there we go. It kind of looks a little like smoke coming out of the chimneys. All right. Now, all that's left is our snow and our tree and our little pond. This was like the closest. I couldn't find any evergreen ones, so we're going to go with the gold with a little bit of the flock on there. Kind of get an idea of where you'd like to put it. I'm going to set mine kind of roughly right about there. So then we're going to glue around that and splat it right there. There we go. That'll work. Now these, they've got a sticky back, but I don't think it'll stay sticky very well on the yarn. So we're going to add a little bit of glue just to kind of help it out. And we're going to place it right about there. And these were just some mirrors that I had found at Walmart, that they had like a whole sheet of bigger ones and smaller ones and just a whole bunch of different sizes. And I thought this would be perfect to act like a little pond. Now for this part, you don't have to glue these down, just kind of set it in. I just took a cotton ball and just stretched it out and pulled it apart. And then just kind of stuff it around your tree, along the ground, just to kind of help simulate snow a little bit, just to kind of act like it, to kind of look like it a little bit. And you can play around with it a little bit. If you want to glue some of the cotton balls down so that it stays a little bit better, go on ahead. We might glue some, especially right here in this open part. Just a little dab of glue there, little dab of glue there. And let's do just a little bit here around the pond, just so that it stays in front of it and not on it too much. Let's see, yeah. There we go. Hopefully you were able to kind of see that. I just kind of stretched that glue or the cotton ball out all around there. Got our tree glued on. And then you have a little winter village. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope my camera caught everything. I know it's kind of an odd view, but that's just something kind of easy, kind of fun to make. It took a little bit of time, but I think it's worth it. It was fun. I had fun making it, and I hope you guys had fun watching it. And as always, if you guys have any questions or comments or any suggestions, just leave me a comment down below the video. And as always, you guys have an awesome day.